Hi, welcome to Invictus. We've got this Porsche 911. This is the 997.2, it's a Carrera S, obviously saying 2008, one of the very earlier 997.2s. What makes the 997.2 special is the direct fuel injection. What we mean by DFI is that clean air and the fuel is directly fed into the combustion chamber, whereas in the indirect fuel injection, it's not fed directly into the combustion chamber. That's why it's called indirect, and therefore there's a tendency that maybe this is one of the arguments for why they can, well, some of them, if not run correctly or maintained properly, and various other factors can cause the cylinder liners to score a little bit. Also, this also has eliminated the use of the intermediate shaft bearing, so you no longer have to use the dreaded three-lettered word called IMS. That has now become the platform of the water-cooled engine that was introduced in the 997.2, and they've continued this into the 992.2s. This is a 3.8 litre naturally aspirated flat six boxer engine producing 385 brake horsepower, 420 Newton meters of torque. This being a convertible does 0 to 62 miles per hour in about 4.6 seconds and a top speed of 187 miles an hour. And if you now compare these kind of figures into the new 992.2s, yes, they are that bit quicker as a modern day 911, but they're now turbocharged. They're 3 litre turbocharged. These are 3.8 litre naturally aspirated flat six boxer engine. It's got a lovely raw grunt to it, and ultimately if you want a car that factors into giving you this beautiful cabriolet shape, then I think the 997.2 does a phenomenal job. Finished in this jet black metallic with the 19-inch 911 Carrera S alloys, I think this is probably one of the best specs 911s out there, as well as this having the Chrono Sport Plus pack. I'll put it up just to show you what it's like underneath. At this level, there's a bit of attention to the paintwork that is potentially needed up here, where it's probably caught something in the roads in Sittingbourne in Kent, because this is where it comes from. Fortunately, we're not blessed with the number of potholes that we get. Also, we'd be cleaning inside those grills. That's a job for our mechanic. You can see there's a plastic bottle cap inside. That's something our lovely mechanic Toby can pick up and do. In terms of the tires have got plenty of life remaining in these tires. However, they are now cracking on the outer edges purely because they belong to 2017. Another job for our mechanic to do is to replace these tires. Now, looking at the coil springs, they're in good condition. The discs and pads at the front, they're like brand new. These were installed less than, I think, 6,000 miles. Also, we checked for any play. There's no play in the wheels, and there's no rust in the wheel arch liners as well. This can be quite a common issue. Now, going around the rest of the vehicle, looking at the sills, there's no damage to the sills. They're all intact. They're all in pretty good condition. Now, coming over to the back wheel arch over here, again, no rust, nice and clean. The tires at the back from 2024. This is the Michelin tire. Was replaced less than 2 years ago. It's got loads of life, about 6 to 7 mil. The rear discs and pads are almost like brand new as well. These were done less than 6,000 or 7,000 miles ago. These back boxes, as you could see, they look absolutely brand spanking new. Were these replaced? Were they not? I can't say, but by the state of it, they do look like they've been replaced, but they are in very good shape. Coming to the back, all the underneath of the car is in good nick, good condition. There's no issues anywhere. The driver's side rear wheel here as well, replaced at the same time as the other side. Coil spring is in good condition. These back boxes, as you could see, they're in fantastic condition. The discs and pads are normally replaced as a pair. All the wheel bolts are also in good nick, including the locking wheel nut, the nuts. And I will lastly show you this driver's side front wheel. You can see the cracking on the outer edge of the tire. These tires need to replace. Coil spring is in good condition. Discs and pads are like brand new. I'll continue to take it up. Now, under the vehicle, these exhaust gasket seals, they've been replaced. They're like brand new. And coming over to this side, they're a bit corroded. The right side have been done, but it doesn't mean that they require being replacement, purely because they're not leaking gases anywhere whatsoever, so not too bad. This is the exhaust manifold. These are in very good condition. I've seen a lot worse, so that's pretty good. Same thing on bank one. These exhaust manifold look like they're in good shape. The drive belt, that's been replaced at some point. The coolant pipes here, including the water pump, it's in good nick. It's not weeping whatsoever. Surface corrosion, as you could see, common, but it's just surface corrosion. And then looking at sort of the drop links, the arms, and also some of the plastic scoops, which brings the air in to cool the rear brakes. They're all intact, all exactly where they should be. No play here on the control arms. The links are good. And same thing here, no play on the control arms. The links are in good condition, and the discs and pads are like brand new. The tire here, there's no damage anywhere. Now the undertrays are in all good condition as well. Looking at the gearbox, also in good nick, and no damage to the underneath or to the undertrays whatsoever. Now looking at the inside of this wheel, new discs and pads, which we've already talked about, and I'm looking at the condition of the control arms. That's in good condition there. No play. The link, that's good. No issue there. And the control arm there is in good nick as well. And look at the PASM strap, that's in good condition as well. It's not leaking or weeping in any way, form or shape. That's us done for the underneath. You can see some scraping here under the car. The air conditioning is also working on this impressively. They're very common to get chipped at the front in terms of the air condensers, but they are not weeping or leaking, so the AC is working. And this got some slight little marking, it being a low car. And that's us done from a workshop side of things. Now let's take it up for a spin. So let's take this beautiful, gorgeous Porsche 911 up for a drive. You've seen it on the ramp, and now you get to see what it sounds like, drives like, and how it handles. Today we have a guest, and our guest is Toby. He's our mechanic. There's nothing as pleasurable as getting behind the steering wheel in one of these and taking it out for a drive. This genuinely has everything you would want in a Porsche 911. We're talking, this is the last of the Porsches by Porsche, so it's nimble bodied, still has a bit of a character that Porsches are known to have. And ultimately, the power this packs in is absolutely unbelievable. And the 997.2 DFI engine is everything that Porsche has today. I mean, this is basically the base for all the 992s or the 991.1s or the 991.2s, all the successes after this 911s having the same base of an engine and the gearbox. So the 997.2s, really, this is one of the very early iterations of it, launched in 2008. It's the successor to the 997.1. This is the first time in Porsche's history that they've become direct fuel injections. That means the fuel and fresh air is fed directly into the combustion chamber, and ultimately you just get a much cleaner energy and a more efficient energy resource. The BHP and the torque and the performance numbers obviously go up as well alongside it. So for the first time ever, the 997.2 produced more BHP than ever before. Its predecessor was producing about 350 brake horsepower as a Carrera S. This produces 385 brake horsepower, 420 Newton meters of torque, a 0 to 62 miles per hour. This being a convertible, so you can imagine it's got more weight to the chassis, and it's stiffened just to kind of reinforce it from a safety point of view. It's a bit slower in that 0 to 62 figures and facts wise, so it's about 4.7 seconds, and a top speed of circa 187 miles an hour. So it's just unbelievable performance numbers in this. Spec wise, this has got the comfort leather steering wheel. You've got the buttons here to go up or go down a gear. If you wanted a full-on manual control over this, you can just slide the gear selector to the left, and I've dropped it from 5th to 4th, now to 3rd, now to 2nd. So it really wants to take off as soon as you put it in sports mode. And the other great attribute that this has is that sports button. You press that and also your PASM kicks in as well, so that stiffens your chassis as well, so you just get a stiffer ride. With PASM, the car is circa 10 mil lowered from factory, but you can deactivate that separately just to have a more comfortable ride in this. Otherwise it's wanting to break your teeth really. Now it being in sports mode, we came off there turning the car around, and it really wants to take off. The PDK transmission is just something else. Obviously it's a dual clutch transmission, and you've got one clutch working off odd numbers and another off even numbers, so the performance output is absolutely unbelievable. And I've got to bring this review to a closure, and hopefully I've shared a little bit about what these cars sound like, what performance it offers, and why, throughout my video, why I think the 997.2 is quite sought after. Just a couple of other things is that it being a convertible, you still get an absolutely phenomenal handling from this. So the handling isn't compromised in any way, form or shape, it being a convertible. The job that the gearbox does, and ultimately the engine and the performance, you're really getting it being naturally aspirated, a linear power output, and that power is delivered throughout all the gears, going up to circa 187 miles. And it's just credit to Porsche for building something this resilient, something this good, that is able to do the job that it does, even on a car that is now coming up to easily 20 years old. And I'm sure I could spend another 20-30 minutes talking about this, but hopefully I've done it enough of a justice to kind of explain it and to show you what it's all about. So thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time. Bye bye.